Hello everyone, and today we're back for another top 5 video, and we're going to be talking about the top 5 bad Loomians that are actually good. So these are 5 Loomians that people consider bad, while in reality, they are actually very good. So with that out of the way, let's head right onto this top 5 list. So, number 5 onto this list is actually going to be Cyborg. Now, Cyborg isn't the worst thing in the world, but the thing is with Cyborg is its role. It has a really good support role, and it's probably one of the best support Loomians in all of Loomian Legacy. It's the best Bag of Tricks Loomian, it's the best Barter Loomian, it might also be the best Hypnotize Loomian as well. And it also has solid bulk on both sides, and it has solid attack on both sides as well. Cyborg is a very solid Loomian. But the thing is, no one really likes using Cyborg on their teams. And while Cyborg does have a very good support role, a lot of people don't consider that role worth as an asset. There's not a team spot open for Cyborg most of the time, and that's why a lot of people don't use it. I see some people use Cyborg, and a lot of people that use it, they use it well, but a lot of people never consider Cyborg as one of the best Loomians in the game, and it makes sense. I mean, it's not a very flashy role Cyborg fits, but even then, like, it's one of the best support Loomians in the game. Look at all of the other support Loomians we have, like Wiki, and like, even some of the other ones, like Cyborg stands out as the best support Loomian in Loomian Legacy. So it definitely deserves to be number 5 on this list, although not higher than this. Number 4 into this list is going to be Infernix. I don't think the problem with Infernix is that if it's good or not. The problem is that it gets replaced by pretty much every fire type, even with the addition of Draco Beam. Despite that, though, Infernix does some good work. It hits pretty hard, has the highest speed stat out of any fire type on the range side, has Return to Sender, has Power Napper, and has very good coverage. Infernix has a lot going for it. It's definitely a very good Loomian. The reason why a lot of people consider Infernix bad, though, is because every fire type outclasses it in a certain way. Vocaloa has more speed. Pyrolid hits harder and also has better defensive capabilities. I mean, Eruptodon can hit harder with Very Smart and has better coverage. Not to mention, even Haganosh has bulk and rejuvenate, which makes it better in that spot as well. And while Infernix does have very good range bulk, its melee bulk is really bad. Not to mention that it just gets outclassed by pretty much any fire type. Despite that, though, Infernix does really well. With Return to Sender and its Power Napper ability, Infernix can be a very good tank, and it's actually legitimately good. But it doesn't deserve the top 3 on this list. Number 3 onto this list is going to be Dusket. A lot of people are going to be shocked about Dusket because honestly, I think Dusket is actually a really good Loomian. Yes, it was in my top 5 list for worst roamers in Loomian Legacy, but it was only number 4 on the list, spoiler alert. So, yeah, I definitely support Dusket a lot, considering that a lot of people consider Dusket as the worst roamer in Loomian Legacy. I have my doubts. Dusket can be a melee and ranged attacker. Not to mention that it also has Shadow Sprint for priority, Outburst to hit ancient types, Raging Flames to stunt melee attackers, and it has Peace of Mind, Hypnotize, Dark Surge, which is great for a ranged one. Dusket has a lot going for it, and while it doesn't excel at a role, it can definitely fill in a lot of roles. And it has a pretty decent defensive typing as well. Yes, Dusket may not be the best roamer in Loomian Legacy. Yes, Dusket is a bottom 5 roamer in Loomian Legacy, but all the roamers are really good, so being a bottom 5 roamer doesn't make you bad. It just makes you bad when you talk about the rest of the roamers. That's why Dusket is considered a bad Loomian, even though in reality, it's very good and there's a lot going for it. And it definitely deserves number 3 on this list. Number 2 onto this list is going to be Terraclaw. I do not understand the Terraclaw hate at all. This might be one of the most effective ranged tanks in all of Loomian Legacy. Yes, a ranged tank with 54 base range defense. But if you combine it with very clever 200 range defense and Slick Shell, This is by far the best range tank in Lumion Legacy when it comes to pure bulk. It also has Parasitize, which is a healing move that attacks the opposing Lumion. Yes, you can attack and heal at the same time. I do understand there is Centibars in Venolin, and while they do have Rejuvenate, it is a lot more effective in terms of a healing tank. But the problem is that you're not attacking the opposing Lumions. You're not attacking the opposing Lumions. With Terraclaw, it's 2 for 1. You click Parasitize, you heal health back, and you take out their health. Not to mention, Terraclaw has decent coverage as well, meaning that you can hit a lot of different Lumions in the game. Yes, Terraclaw might not be able to hit Stratosaur, which does really suck. But other than that, Terraclaw can hit a lot of different Lumions and can do very well as a ranged tank. It soaks Zulong hits, it takes Metronet hits, to clips, Cephalops, and even can soak a Frost Beam from a Widtrix, which is insane to think about. Terraclaw is not a bad Lumion. It's actually really amazing, and it definitely deserves number 2 on this list. Honorable mentions. So honorable mention number 1 is Himber. Now, Himber isn't a bad Lumion at all. In fact, it's amazing. The reason why a lot of people don't consider Himber the best is because it's considered the worst starter in Lumion Legacy. But again, all the starters are really good, and Himber has its own niche as a great melee tank that hits hard. Also having one of the best offensive typings in Lumion Legacy. It's not that bad though, so that's why it's only an honorable mention. Honorable mention number 2 is Buzzlin. And honestly, I think Buzzlin is pretty underrated. It's another bug type that hits pretty hard. And with the Vigorous ability and Barter, you can actually give Volcanic Ashes or like other abilities or other items away, which is awesome for Buzzlin. And Buzzlin hits decently hard. But again, it's not that bad. And even then, when you're comparing it to every other Bari, it does fall flat. And that's why it's an honorable mention. Number 1 onto this list is Baneki. Everyone says that Baneki is trash, but this Lumion is surprisingly really good. Has a very fast speed stat, has a solid offensive typing, has good coverage in Boom Bash, can poison the opposing Lumions, can set up Magnifies, has just as many immunities as weaknesses. And not to mention, it doesn't even have very bad weaknesses. Being quad weak to Ice does suck. It really does suck. I'm not going to lie there. But it does hit very hard, especially after a Magnify. It's one of the best late game cleaners in all of Lumion Legacy, and it just hits super duper hard. Not to mention the Stall Neki set is really good, and if you run a Clutch plushie with Baneki and Life Drain, you can gain all your health back, which definitely gives Baneki an edge over every other Lumion on this list. Again, I am a big fan of moves that attack and heal you at the same time, and Baneki has Life Drain. It also has Mudslide as well, so it can also get rid of traps, and it also is just very good in general. Not to mention it also has Sap Plant and other moves that can get its health back. Baneki may be considered trash, but it's probably the best Lumion on this list, and it definitely deserves to be number 1 on this list. And here it is, Baneki, the number 1 Lumion on this list. So those are my top 5 bad Lumions, which are actually good. If there's some other Lumions that I missed, please tell me those Lumions in the comments below. And yeah, this was a very hard video to make. I hope you guys enjoyed this top 5 video, and I will see y'all all later. Bye-bye!